Hey everyone, for today's video I'll be talking about something that is very personal. However, I want to put this up to help anyone who's struggling with the same thing that I was going through, and hopefully you find it to be encouraging and hopefully you get some tips as well. So I'm just going to rewind and give you a little bit of a backstory. So something that my husband and I decided to do was wait till marriage. So we both were virgins and it was a special gift that we wanted to give each other during marriage, and we wanted to just honor God in that way since we both are Christians. So leading up till the wedding, we both were talking about this with our marriage counselor, and we were doing marriage prep. We were doing this with a pastor. We also were talking to loved ones, and I was also reading this book called Intended for Pleasure, and it's a Christian resource. I actually found out about this on YouTube, so if I can find the link for this book, I will leave that down below. And this was just incredibly helpful. I actually did take this on our honeymoon as well, and just a lot of really great information is inside that book. So yeah, we were just trying to prep ourselves the best that we could. So something for me was that I was nervous because I never used a tampon, I never had a pap smear. So yeah, I was just feeling a little bit, I wouldn't say I was like super nervous, but I guess I was nervous because I was hearing that, you know, it's going to be painful the first couple of times. So yeah, I just wasn't entirely sure what to expect, but either way, I was very excited about it. So when it came to the honeymoon, unfortunately, it did not work out. We were not able to consummate our marriage. It was something that we were hoping to be able to do at least by the end of the honeymoon, but it just did not work out because it was painful for me. I was having discomfort, and yeah, either way, we were being patient during that time, but it just was not working out. So then now a month has passed and still was not able to work out. 2 months have passed and the same thing. So I was just doing lots of research, and I was kind of getting scared, thinking like, oh my gosh, do I have vaginismus? Which basically means like where involuntarily your muscles will contract, or basically it'll just get really tight. So I was thinking like, oh my goodness, do I have this? So I just was not sure what was going on, and I was thinking that I would have to see a doctor. But either way, during this time we were doing a few different things, which I will talk about, and then finally 2 months and about 2 weeks after, we were able to finally consummate our marriage. So I hope you find these tips to be helpful, but what I want to let you know is just please remain patient in this process. Be patient with your body, and I just hope that this will work out for you. So I have 7 different tips that I'm going to share, and I just have it written down here below. I didn't want to miss anything, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So the first thing that I did that helped tremendously is pelvic floor exercises. And I've done a few pelvic floor exercises in the past, but not really consistently, I would say. So this is something that helped out a lot, and I will link some videos down below that were really great resources for me. And I just found that doing that really helped to loosen my muscles and just help that area. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And then the second thing that was very helpful was books and resources and talking to loved ones. So like I mentioned, this book is something that's great to read leading up to your marriage. It's good to read when you're married. Like I mentioned, I brought this on my honeymoon. So yeah, just look out for resources, things that are going to help you and guide you in that area, especially if you are a virgin, or even if you've had past trauma or anything like that. Just look for resources that are going to equip you and help you in that area so that you're not nervous and that you can relax. My third tip is try your best to relax. I know it could be easier said than done, but being all tense and nervous, that's not going to help the situation. So just try to get some deep breathing techniques down. For us as well, since we are Christians, praying, that helped tremendously as well. And just setting up a really good atmosphere, whether it's soft music, maybe even dimming down the lights, and also giving each other massages. That's just ways that you can help your body to relax. My fourth tip is to have good communication. So something that I made sure to do is to be clear with my husband, to let him know how I was feeling during the entire process, because of course he's not a mind reader. So I just wanted to let him know how I was feeling, and this was incredibly helpful. And a video that I watched, which was an amazing resource, which I'll leave a link to that down below, was basically saying to talk to yourself as well. And I guess basically in your brain, if you're feeling pain or discomfort, then you may tense up, but you have to let yourself know that, you know, I'm okay. And so I'll read actually what the lady said in this video. So she said, "Yes, it hurts, but this is not harming me. I'm a bit sore, but I'm safe. So that's something that I remind myself, like, yes, this is a bit of discomfort, but I just need to be patient with myself because it's a muscle that needs to be stretched. So yes, I'm feeling a little bit of discomfort, but I'm fine. So that's just something that I just kept on reminding myself. So yeah, just make sure that you have good communication so that he knows how you're feeling, because the thing about it is only you know how you're feeling, so you want to make sure that you let that be clear. My fifth tip is to make sure that you have enough foreplay, and this just really helps your body get ready for the next step. So during this special time, you get to know each other a little bit more. You'll see your likes and your dislikes, and I think that it's just very important for preparing your body. My next tip goes hand in hand with the previous one, and after you've done foreplay, if you've noticed that there is not enough moisture, then you can use some lube. So just do research beforehand just to see which kind might be best for your body. But yeah, using lube is very helpful just to make sure that the process isn't as painful, just so that insertion is a lot easier and smooth. The last tip that I want to share with you is to do finger exercises, and you can use dilators as well, but I would say to make sure to do a lot of research about that and talk to your doctor to see if that's a route that you want to take. However, for me, my husband, doing the finger exercises worked out amazing. So for prep, you want to make sure that fingers are nice and clean, they're trimmed, and that they're lubricated, and that you're lubricated as well. And then something that I told my husband for insertion was to do it on the exhale. That's what I learned with some of the resources. So just make sure that you have good breathing techniques and insert when you're exhaling. So you want to start off with one finger with the tip, and then once that feels comfortable, move to halfway, and then a third of the way, and then you can move to all the way. And then while you're doing that as well, you want to do circular motions, move side to side, up and down, and then once that feels comfortable for you, you can move on to two fingers, and again, part of the way, half of the way, the full way. And then something that was helpful as well is just slightly opening and closing, and then rotating as well. So that just helped a lot. And of course, there may be some discomfort during that time, but just make sure to have good breathing techniques, and then just be very slow with that process. And then also, once you're feeling like, okay, you know, this is feeling fine, then you move on to the next step. And yeah, that's what we did, and it worked out really good. So I hope you found this video to be helpful, and just make sure to be patient with yourself during this process. I know for me, like, I was thinking, like, you know, is there something wrong with me? Is this normal? But just remember, everyone's situation is different. Don't compare yourselves to others and think like, oh my gosh, like, how come it was so easy for her and it's not easy for me? Like, don't do that at all. Just know that this is your own journey, and just keep on reminding yourself of that. And also make sure to talk to a doctor, because if there's a lot of discomfort, if this is very hard for you, then I would say that you should talk to a professional about this. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and leave your stories down below just so that we can encourage each other. And thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.